Hidden within the ancient walls of Jerusalem lies a mystery that refuses to be forgotten. It's a gate sealed in stone untouched for centuries, yet it speaks louder with each passing year. They call it the Eastern Gate or the Golden Gate. And while it has stood still for over 480 years, something strange is beginning to stir beneath its surface. The silence is breaking beneath its stone. Prophecy may be waking up. What if I told you that this sealed gate is not just part of a crumbling wall, but a divine countdown clock pointing to the return of the King? Could the movement around this gate be a signal that the world is about to witness the greatest event in human history? Many have tried to seal it. Empires have buried it. Skeptics have ignored it, but the Bible has never been silent about it. Now strange things are happening around the Eastern Gate, and believers around the world are beginning to ask one haunting question. Is Jesus about to return? Before we uncover the hidden truths and ancient prophecies surrounding this mysterious gate, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss what might be the most important revelation of our time. To truly understand the significance of the Eastern Gate, we must first recognize what this gate represents. Not just to the people of Jerusalem, but to the spiritual heartbeat of the entire world. This gate facing the Mount of Olives is not just another entrance. It is a prophetic doorway in the days of ancient Israel. The Eastern Gate was the way by which the presence of God, His divine glory, also called the Shekinah, entered the temple. According to the prophet Ezekiel, it was through this very gate that God's presence once came into the city, and through which it eventually departed because of the nation's disobedience later. Many believe that Jesus, the Son of God, fulfilled Ezekiel's prophecy when he rode into Jerusalem on a donkey during what we now call Palm Sunday. The people laid palm branches before him as he passed through the Eastern Gate, shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David." That moment was not random, it was deeply prophetic. But after centuries of conflict and changes in empires, something strange happened in the year 1541. A mighty empire ruled Jerusalem, the Ottoman Empire, under the leadership of Suleiman the Magnificent. This sultan was no ordinary conqueror. He was brilliant, strategic, and deeply aware of local prophecies. It was during his rule that the Golden Gate was abruptly sealed with heavy stone and mortar. Strangely, no official explanation was ever offered, but many scholars and religious thinkers believe Suleiman feared the ancient Jewish prophecy that the Messiah would come through this eastern entrance. To prevent the fulfillment of that divine promise, he sealed it shut, and perhaps even more symbolically constructed a Muslim cemetery directly in front of it. Why a cemetery? According to Jewish law, a Kohen, a priest, cannot walk through a graveyard without becoming ritually impure. Since the Messiah is expected to come from a priestly or royal lineage, the intention was to create not just a physical barrier, but a spiritual one. But can man-made stones stand in the way of God's divine timetable? In recent years, something unusual has begun to happen at the Eastern Gate. People who regularly pray near this gate, especially on the Jewish side, at the Temple Mount, and on the path from the Mount of Olives, have started noticing strange occurrences. Some of them have shared their experiences, and while these are not yet officially documented by archaeologists, they are being talked about more frequently, especially among those watching the signs of the end times. Worshippers and tourists alike have noticed unusual cracks forming between some of the large stones of the Eastern Gate. In certain areas, the tightly packed rocks seem to have shifted ever so slightly, as if the ancient gate is stretching, adjusting, or preparing for something. These are not wild, dramatic movements, but small, delicate shifts that are not normal in such ancient and settled stonework. Some say that while praying near the gate or visiting the area, they felt the ground vibrating faintly beneath their feet. Not from cars or construction, but something deep like a pulse in the earth itself. Others claim to have seen small amounts of dust trickle down from between the stones, as if something behind the sealed wall was pushing gently against it. Some have even spoken of hearing muffled sounds, soft thuds or groans from within the stone, like the city's ancient doors were trying to breathe after centuries of silence. These are not claims being shouted from rooftops, but rather quiet, reverent whispers from people who believe they are standing near a divine mystery. These stories have come especially from individuals praying with sincerity and expectation, those who feel connected to the return of the Lord and are watching for signs before we go further. Let's pause and reflect on what it would mean if this gate truly is beginning to move. The physical signs, cracking stones, shifting blocks, trickling dust, could easily be dismissed as natural wear and tear from time, weather, and human activity nearby. But what if they're not? What if these tiny, barely noticeable changes are actually the first signs of a spiritual awakening that is about to break into our physical world? The Bible teaches us that what happens in the spiritual realm often precedes what happens in the natural realm. In Hebrews 11:3 it says, "By faith we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible." This means that sometimes the real action starts in the unseen places, where our eyes can't go, but where our spirits can feel. The gate may not burst open with a loud explosion or fall overnight. Instead, it may open the same way God often works: quietly, gently, powerfully in His time and for His purpose. If the Eastern Gate is indeed stirring, this could be the physical beginning of a spiritual reality that the King is coming, and even the stones are starting to cry out in preparation. The timing of these reports is just as mysterious as the signs themselves in a world full of chaos, wars, moral confusion, earthquakes, and global instability. Jerusalem once again takes center stage, and now this sealed gate is being talked about again, just as prophecy watchers and Bible-belving Christians are warning that the time of Jesus' return could be near. It almost feels as if the city itself is preparing. Jerusalem is no stranger to prophecy. It is mentioned by name more than 800 times in the Bible. The Psalms tell us to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Psalm 122:6, and the prophets say that God has placed His name there forever. Jesus wept over this city before He went to the cross, saying in Luke 19:42, "If you had only known on this day what would bring you peace, but now it is hidden from your eyes." Could it be that the veil is lifting again? Could it be that the sealed gate is God's way of getting our attention? In this final hour, Jesus told us to watch the signs. He said in Mark 13:28-29, "Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. Even so, when you see these things happening, you know that it is near, right at the door." That phrase, "right at the door," carries deep meaning. What if Jesus was referring not only to a general time of return, but also symbolically to the very door, the Eastern Gate, that leads directly into the city of His destiny? It may still be sealed today, but it won't remain sealed forever. And when it opens, whether quietly or with thunder, it will announce more than just movement in stone. It will announce the return of the one who is called faithful and true. Please remember to subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with the latest discoveries, biblical insights, and spiritual revelations. We are living in truly remarkable times. And more than ever, we need to keep our eyes open, our hearts ready, and our spirits alert. The King is coming, and even the gate is preparing the way.